It's always humbling for me when somebody agrees to come up. I mean, period. So thank you.
I'm super excited. I haven't been on a lot of these live streams actually, so I'm, very curious about this whole world of YouTube and all the aquarium people on here. So it's a whole new world for me, really.
Yeah, they in the house. They in the house. So we're gonna roll over here to the chat right quick.
All right.
See who's here. Shout them out, and then we're gonna get rolling. Minister
Ah!
Brandon was the first in. Mystery Snail Guardian. Hello, hello. Fish Tropics. El Tropico. That's my brother there. Glitch Aquatics. How do, ma'am? Casual. What's happening? What's happening? Aqua Funk. What you talking about? The first time you ever heard of this channel? Well, I'm glad you here then, sir, for like the 50th time, 2 times on screen. I mean, but you've never heard of, this channel before. Thank you, though. Lonnie, a.k.a. Looney Tunes. Rocco, brother from another mother.
Rocco!
Texas Militia. What's going on, man? What's going on? All right. Legendary Alex Carter now. Hello, man. What's going on? How are you, fella? Jimmy P is in the place to be. What's going on? Ma'am, give them a little breakdown of who you are, where you come from, physically, as well as hobby-wise.
All right. Let's see if I can get everything in one storyline. All right. So my name is Nat. I go by @StockMyTank. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. A lot of people might know me from TikTok. That's probably where I have the most following. I've been in the hobby for over 20 years. So I grew up with it. It was something that my dad and I did together. I started out in saltwater. My first tank was a 72-gallon Pofront aquarium. I kept a lot of fish over the years. It was a lot of learning. But now I have a house of my own, which is where I am today. I'm in Austin, Texas. And I'm up to 5 builds right now. So 5 aquariums, a mix of fresh and salt. Really just trying to explore and keep learning because there's always something to learn in the hobby. So that is a little bit about me.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So, what made you or gave you the idea to start Stock My Tank?
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit about this. This is an idea that it's since I've been in the hobby for so long. I was telling Big Tank Hank, I have seen over the years just a very slow progression of how we buy fish online. And it's been frustrating, to be honest. Like I was telling him, one of the first experiences I had was buying a fish from Marine Depot, which is now no longer in existence. It's now Live Aquaria. And that fish, it was a fish that I couldn't get locally. It was something I really wanted. It was a painted fairy wrasse. It's one of my favorite fish to this day. So I went online and I had my dad order it from this site. And just the whole process of receiving this fish, it was basically dead on arrival. It was traumatizing, obviously, for a young kid. And that shopping experience really hasn't changed over the years. We still order fish from sites that we don't know if they're credible or not. We receive them. A lot of times they've gone through 3 distribution facilities. They're really sick when they arrive or they're unhealthy. And then, as I kind of realized, how much I really care about this hobby, it's frustrating for me to sit here and realize we have a solution. There's hundreds of breeders all over the US, people that breed fish. They're involved in their active clubs. They're growing plants in their home. We all have things that we could sell and make a few bucks from. So, why not support another hobbyist instead of a PetSmart or Petco? And that's kind of where the idea came from, was let's just build a better solution to buy fish online.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I think if you've been in the hobby any length of time, you've had some type of horror story connected with the online selling. I mean, what's gonna show up in the mail?
Yeah.
What's not gonna show up in the mail?
Right.
Yeah, no, this is a very good idea. Yeah, the Aquarium Depot. I didn't realize they were the same place though.
Yep, Marine Depot sold. I think it was
Marine Depot. There you go. Yeah, I remember the name. I thought it just went away. Yeah.
Nope. Live Aquaria sucked him up. And then Live Aquaria was owned by PetSmart or Petco for a while. I don't know which one of the big box stores. And then more recently, in the last, I think 2 years, the original owner of Live Aquaria took back his share from PetSmart and Petco, and now it's privately owned again. So that's kind of the history of, I guess, where Live Aquaria has been over the years.
Okay. Thunder Aquatics, Sunfish Assassin. What's going on? What's going on? Pride More, Fishing More. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Hey, y'all share this out. Get some more people in the house so they can know what Miss Nat has available for them. If they don't know, now they know.
Yep.
So what would you say you feel needs to be the biggest change? Putting you on the spot. Biggest change right now in the hobby. I mean, it could be, no, I'm just going to leave that open like that. I'm leave that open any question.
Yeah, I think for me, it's number one is sustainability. So something that, I've also been equally frustrated by is obviously on the saltwater side of the hobby. Really, over the 20 years I've been doing this, nothing has changed in terms of sustainability. A lot of people are still buying fish that have been collected straight from the reef. We need to really put money into understanding the breeding process of all aquaria, not just saltwater fish, but freshwater fish as well. Although the freshwater side certainly has a lot more figured out than the saltwater side does. But to my point, it makes a lot of sense if we shop from one another and shop from fellow breeders. Let's pay the people that are actually doing the experiments in their own homes and their own backyards, because those are the people that are really at the forefront of the research. So that's why I think sustainability is probably the number one issue for buying fish online.
Okay. Sounds about right to me. Natalia, Jerome, what's going on?
2 gnats in the house.
Right. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. So, Alex Cornell said, what are you keeping as far as freshwater?
So my one and only, I have 2 freshwater builds, but the one behind me currently in the middle of a water change, let's just say that. That is a couple of dwarf gouramis, both males and females, hopefully doing a breeding project in the future. I have some Cory catfish. Over here, there's little babies. I also have videos of those babies growing up on TikTok if anyone's interested. I have a betta fish in here as well, some Syndodontis catfish. I think that pretty much covers it. And some mosquito fish that are going to move to the pond at some point. I've been keeping them inside.
Why are they making it so hard to find female dwarf gouramis?
It was impossible. Oh my gosh. I got so lucky. And now I'm like, I have to breed them. I have to find time to do it because they're really tough to find.
I hate it because I have one, a little powder blue and red striped one right here in front of me over there that I'm looking at right now. And I want females.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But hey, another part of the hobby that, that I can understand. Hey, I want to make my money. So if I make them less, accessible.
Right. You can
control. And the majority of the hobby are people who just want to look at the fish in their tanks anyway.
Right. Yeah. I think that's something I've had to kind of reckon with as well in building Stock My Tank is obviously it's a marketplace, so you have to build both sides of the marketplace. And the people that are the breeders, act in a completely different way in their day-to-day aquarium hobby than the people that are keeping their fish. So it's 2 very different customer personas at the end of the day. And just having to balance that's been pretty tricky, but I'm learning a lot. So hopefully the marketplace will continue to grow over time.
Right. Salt. What do you have on your salt side?
On the salt side right now, I have a 72-gallon Bowfront aquarium. That one just got started maybe over summer, so not very long ago. I'm still trying to give it some time to process, but hopefully doing a reef really soon. I'm actually picking up my first coral for that tank tomorrow. So I'm driving down to Kyle, Texas for that. I got a deal on a toadstool leather, so I'm super excited. And then the other one is a 13.5-gallon reef. If anyone is starting out in saltwater, I just want to plug the Fluval Evo C tank. It is literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's a great, easy first saltwater tank, especially if you want to get into reefing. So a lot of people will say like, oh, you have to get this big saltwater tank because you need to learn water chemistry. But I actually think if you keep, the saltwater build for your first project pretty small, you learn a lot and you learn it a lot more quickly. So that would be my advice.
Okay. DD Skipper, welcome in, y'all. I salt water. The coral rage right now. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
As in, like a
Tank,
specific coral
no
that's like
fish.
really hot.
No, I mean just like tank, no fish, just the
Yeah,
coral. It's
yeah.
kind of I'm grasping the. Well, what if I don't buy the light, the coral lighting? What if I don't buy that? What does my coral look like then? I mean,
It's it honestly depends on what type of coral. Like if you're trying to do advanced stuff, you have to have the lighting. You have to spend the money, and that's what makes the saltwater side really tough and also equally frustrating. Because I'm a big believer, like I just want the saltwater side to be as accessible to people as possible from a money perspective. So actually on my TikTok, I regularly do it. I call it dollar store reefing segment, where I make videos about how I save money on the saltwater side. So I literally show like this is what I picked up from the dollar store today, and this is how I'm going to use it on my reef. But yeah, I'm super big on that. And yeah, I think the lighting thing's tough. Like if you buy an all-in-one tank, kind of like the Fluval Evo tank that I was talking about, it comes with a pretty good light. You can keep a lot of stuff as a beginner with a light like that. So there's no pressure to spend hundreds of dollars. But as you kind of grow in that side of the hobby, it does get pretty expensive pretty quickly.
gotcha. Yeah, I've been some years back. I had a 20-gallon salt and a 10-gallon salt in my restroom. I swear I spent $500 to do those two little tanks, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
And I mean, I had them rolling. I had damsels, blacks, 3-spot damsels. I had blue damsels, and I had a tang.
Ooh.
The
In the
tang,
20-gallon?
the tang was in the 10-gallon by itself in the restroom. I mean, hey, I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? I just
That's so
so
funny.
yeah, after a while I was like, hey, I don't, what have I
That's
gotten myself into? I don't,
yeah. It's a learning curve.
I'm not, yeah, I'm not feeling the joy, and that they told me I was going.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not feeling the joy that they say I was gonna feel. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna back out the door on this one,
yeah.
and that's where I've been ever since. I've heard, I've been given a lot of information and a lot of advice, if I decide to pull the trigger again, but oh my goodness.
Okay, that's actually a really good point that you make. Like, I was just recommending beginners to like have a pretty small tank, which is 13 and a half gallons. But to your point, a lot of the fish that people want to buy on the saltwater side need bigger tanks. And I don't think that you realize kind of how limited you are on the saltwater side with a smaller tank until you see the fish that are super colorful, like a yellow tang. And then you're like, oh my God, it needs 72 gallons. Well, now I can't have that, So yeah, that can be a little tough, but
Yes.
it is a
Fishy
game.
Biz Aquatics, what's going on? What else we got in here? Warrior Planet Text. Sorry, I forgot to text message you and remind you, buddy, but I see you here. I see you here. Thank you. DD, what's going on? Casual. Funk knows me, man. Funk knows me. So, I can't get caught up over there. I can't look over there at that chat.
I know it gets really
Yeah.
distracting, and we just got a message from the other Nat too. Okay, she says, "Any aquarium supplies on a budget? Things you guys have found or made." Big Tank Hank, do you want to show her your budget light? Because I love
Hey,
that. I loved it.
now, the one individual who told me to record and not to do stuff like this is in the chat now. So hey, Funk, don't get mad at me, man.
So sorry.
Okay, y'all.
I really just put you on the spot.
I built a terrarium. Fish Kid, what's going on? And I need a light better than the light that I have here. I needed a grow light for my plants. The lights that I have would melt the top of my, my enclosure well. About an hour ago, I just sat on my bed. Okay, that's tar paper, from doing your roof. We know what that is. Light diffuser. They call it egg crate, and I don't know why they call it egg crate.
Yeah, I don't
But
know why.
I made my own. If you notice, there's about a 3-inch lift with a light above the top of my container, so I don't have to worry about melting it or too much intensity on the whatever the critter that's going to be in there or the actual plant. So I put that together just about a good hour ago, and it's wonderful.
I
It
love
fits
it.
perfectly. It fits perfectly inside of the frame that holds the wire mesh. Looks like it's supposed to be there. But yeah, hey, yeah, guys, don't be mad at me. I'm trash at this YouTube thing. You know what I'm saying?
He's showing you now, so that's the video that you're receiving.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna let y'all see the terrarium that I showed you, and I asked what you want me to do. I'll let y'all see that later on too. I have it already together. Of course, no animal in it or anything. It's got to grow in. It's got to do its thing. John Larson, what's going on? But yeah, that's one of the.
Okay, Big Tank Hank, how many terrariums have you done? I have not gotten into the terrarium world yet, and I'm very intrigued by all of it.
Well, that's a double-sided
Okay.
answer. I've done a lot of them growing up. I've not ever done one like this one, where it's, it's what do they call it? Bioactive, and
right. You have like springtails in there?
I don't yet.
Okay.
I don't yet. I just set it up last night, so I'm gonna try to get hold to me some springtails in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Springtails
and out. Is that weird?
And isopods. No, they kind of creep me out too. I can feel them in my hair and my ears, but they supposedly they won't. You know what I'm saying? They'll stay in there, but I have my own feelings about that also.
Yeah.
But I DIY'd something on that too. You have to have a drainage layer. Your first layer that you put in your terrarium has to be a drainage layer to keep the water separate from your actual substrate, but yet still be in the tank.
Interesting.
And we spoke on the aquaponic beads, and then you can use lava rock, and they have all these different things that they tell you to use. Well, I used a 12 by 12 filter sponge.
Okay.
Coarse filter sponge.
Okay.
When you have a drainage layer, you have to use a mesh to keep the substrate from going down into the water, down into your drainage layer. Okay. Well, with that sponge, it does all of those things. I use a coarse sponge, so it easily wickens water down.
Yeah.
Below your substrate level, without having to use a separator, because the sponge itself separates.
Separator. I love that. But what if you have to change the sponge? Just kind of like a filter sponge. Sometimes you got to change them.
Well, that one I know I got a good I might get 2 years out of it, but I know I got a year easily out of it.
Okay.
I'm a plan on upgrading probably bigger at some point in time. So when that gets revamped, doing that part of the hobby is not that much far-fetched from the fish, because you're going to change something anyway.
Right.
So I know myself. I ADHD, and it's not, I'm going to see something and say, oh man, I need to do this differently, or I need to do that,
Yeah.
And I'm very limited. This is a 12 by 12 by 12. And I'm purging on these videos, and according to all of the terrarium people, there's not much I can put in it.
Okay.
In respect of the life, longevity, happiness of the actual animal.
Yeah.
Because I could put things in it, but for their happiness or whatever, you're real limited. And there's things like I don't want a tarantula, so I don't have to worry about that one. Dart frogs, they're like, well, if you have a pair, they need more space. I can kind of understand that, because they want to have their own regions that they live in that belongs to them, and for the breeding and aspect. But the door's still kind of open. You got your day geckos and things of that nature that I might look into. I mean, it's beautiful right now. And well,
Yeah.
hold on, I'll do it like this.
You could put some little baby plants in there and grow them out. Yeah, that looks so good. That looks so cool. It's like its own little jungle. I
Yeah.
really want to get into terrariums. I more and more like the houseplant thing. I'm finally getting it, and I'm like, okay, I see why people are obsessed with houseplants.
And I'm a houseplant guy, so
Ah,
I may never put anything in that one.
right.
I would still do the springtails and whatnot. So the ecosystem can but who knows? I may put some terrestrial snails in it or something. I mean,
Yeah, snails would be cool. There's a
you know
girl
what I'm
on
saying?
TikTok that does snails. She does land snails, and she has like several thousand followers for her land snails. I forget her name. I wish I could give her some credit, but
Snails are very popular. They
yeah,
are very popular.
I guess so.
We have snail guardians in the house tonight. Roxy, Foxy's Fishes. She's all about the snails. Yeah, snails are very popular. Rico Stan, what's going on? What's going on?
Rico the man.
So as they say, all the cool kids are in the house. Hey, somebody go find Melvin. Melvin not on his job. Melvin's supposed to be here. Now, if you see, here we go. There you go, man, with all this writing, man. I'm trying to do an interview.
Oh.
Your Hank does the great. Your beard coming perfectly separated from the black beard hair. Why you ain't got no salt and pepper? What's wrong with you? That's weird and cool at the same time. Hey, that's because I'm weird and cool at the same time. You answered your own question.
It looks so good, though. It looks amazing.
It's crazy. And unfortunately, if it wasn't for the fact, that COVID is around, and I have the option of wearing a mask at work. I have a customized mask. Hey, y'all see the DIY? I DIY everything. I have a custom mask that I made that covers most of this beard.
No way.
Because you're not supposed to have facial hair like that working, and so they can't tell me not to wear my mask.
Yeah.
I'll feel compromised.
Did you sew the mask yourself, or what is it made of?
No,
you have sewing skills?
No. Now, my mother was a seamstress, so okay. I do actually. Growing up, that was the only job she had that I ever seen. She did weddings. She did just your regular, everyday. Yeah, so I can actually, run a stitch. Hey, I can do that. I can thread a needle.
Yeah, sewing is it's a great hobby. I was gonna say it's like one of the second best skills I probably have. Aquarium hobby, number one, greatest hobby. Sewing is up there though. It's so handy. It's so helpful. I actually the other day I sewed my own aquarium lids, which was a weird project, but I was mad because online the acrylic lids you can buy for reef tanks are like $250 for custom lids. And I was like, this is literally netting. It's like mesh netting you can buy for $1.99 a yard at Hobby Lobby. And I just put like wire in a piece of ribbon, custom fit to the bow front tank, put some wire down or the mesh in between, sewed it up. Away we went. Washable aquarium lids right there.
Oh, okay. Hey.
It was pretty wild. $12 the whole thing. I was going to make a video. It was one of those other things I was going to make a video of and I did not, but yeah.
Yes, I know about that.
Tough.
Know about that. I do. Hey, and now you can sell them for $33.99.
That's 3x the price of money I put in. So that would make me so happy.
$33.99. You got to put the work in, but hey, it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done.
For sure.
Rising Sun Aquatics, what's going on? GRB, Yellowstone Aquatics. Hello, y'all. What's happening? What's happening? Thank you for the visitation. John Larson, did I shout you out? What's happening? What's happening? All right, all right. Now, because I always have to know, what would be your most sought after fish? I may stop the question right there
Okay.
because there's so many different ways to. You're more sought after. What would be the holy grail? What would be if you? I mean, if you could, but you can't because it's illegal. I mean, there's all these different ways to do that question. But I'm just gonna let you say what your more sought after fish would be.
That one I think is pretty easy. It's definitely the yellow tang. The yellow tang that I have has been in my family for quite a while, several years. So obviously, like for those that aren't on the saltwater side, yellow tangs, you can no longer export them legally from Hawaii. So at one point, they were super easy to get. The yellow tang was in everyone's fish store, and now
They
it's
were everywhere. Yep.
everywhere. Yeah, and overnight, gone. And now tangs sell for like $500-$600 easy. Pretty wild. So definitely the yellow tang. He actually had ick not too long ago because we moved him to a new tank, and it was a stressor. And that was so scary because I was like, wow, oh my gosh, this fish is like, he's a prized possession. But he got through it, and he's a quite the beast. So
they were more popular than the clowns.
Yeah, they really were. It's because the yellow color that they have is so bright, and when you have the captive bred ones, like Biota is one of the companies that captive breeds them, the colors just don't come out the same. The babies that are raised, I guess they just don't have the same diet maybe that they do in the wild, but they are very translucent, and you can easily tell when someone has a captive bred or a wild caught. It's like night and day. So
Okay.
he's
Well,
most
my
sought after
10-gallon tang was actually wild caught. He had to be.
because he was.
You couldn't help but see him because he couldn't get nowhere.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Aquafunk's comment. Okay, just got to shout this out. If I did salt again, I would get me a marine beta. Yes, that is my number one favorite fish on the saltwater side. If y'all don't know what a marine beta looks like, looks like a beta fish, but it's beautiful. It's black with these beautiful white spots, and they're super cool, neat fish. So
I saw one with orange line, thin line outline around the black.
oh wow,
Yeah.
that's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get one someday soon.
And I was wondering if there was maybe another name. And when I saw, I was like, well, maybe the people are just saying, hey, it looks like a saltwater beta.
Yeah.
Like, do you know if there's another?
There is. People call them comets too, I think because they look like kind of a shooting star pattern on their back. So comet, marine comet. I've heard that a couple of times. But yeah, they're beautiful.
Craig Doniger, Craig's Catfish Cave. What's going on? My favorite saltwater fish, gold striped maroon clownfish, perfect Christmas themed fish.
I didn't know that we had like holiday themed fish.
Right?
Now that we're on the topic, can I just say the clown loach is the Halloween fish? Am I wrong about that? It is.
No, you're not. Yeah,
it's a pumpkin. It's literally.
You're not at all. I agree. The clown loach. And when you see the huge clown loaches, they're also scary.
Yeah.
Clown loach is not supposed to be that big. I mean,
No. So funny.
Yeah, not supposed to be that big.
Would there be an Easter fish? What would you say? Like powder blue gourami, maybe? I don't know. It's gonna throw out some options.
A tang could be an Easter fish. The yellow. Powder blue gourami.
Are there any like rabbit themed fish? Oh, a rabbit fish on the saltwater side.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's the holiday theme.
I'm gonna put that on Stock My Tank. I'm gonna have like the next sale is gonna be like holiday themed fish.
Hey, it would definitely work. It would definitely work. You know us. Us. Hey, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let me get 6.
So funny. Yeah, GRB Aquatics says rabbit snails. Agree. A rabbit snail. Easter fish. Easter creature. I don't know. But yeah. It's pretty fun.
Right? So what have you brought with you from your childhood in keeping fish that you still today hold, true?
That's a deep question, man. I
Because I told you about mine.
Yeah. In terms of, are you like asking more like in terms of like how my philosophies around keeping them?
Yes, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like, I was talking about me with my snorkel in the, and when I look into my tanks, I see what I saw, as a kid, and I
Yeah.
just stay there. I don't care what other people say. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I think what I would say is growing up as a kid in the hobby, and I was on Fish Kid 61's channel. I talked about this a little bit. Um, it's really tough because there's a lot of adults in the hobby and then you're just this kid, right? And so there were a lot of times and moments where I wanted to ask questions or I wanted to like be involved in like the local club, but you're just a kid and people really don't take you seriously. So I would say like the thing that I carry with me the most is feel comfortable and okay asking questions, like never feel too scared or shy to reach out for help. Like literally today I reached out to my friend Puffington and Friends, he's on TikTok, and I was asking him questions about the Oscars that he gave me because they were being super moody today. And I was like, is this normal behavior? Like this was like overnight, are they okay? And he was like, yeah, they get moody. So there's always things that you can learn from people, and yeah, make friends and don't hesitate to reach out if you need help.
Right? Yeah, that's a definite.
Yeah.
And I would say, don't reach out to the employees at the big box store. Um, reach out, mom and pops, and people who because this YouTube thing is probably the best thing that ever happened for the hobby because there's people over here that you can reach out to.
Yeah.
Your mom and pop shops. No, don't reach out to the big box people. No, don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's tough though, because I sometimes, the clubs aren't in each city they might not be the best, most formalized thing. And then where do you meet people that you can actually feel comfortable asking questions to besides message boards sometimes? So I get it's quite the struggle.
And message boards, they
Yeah.
that is they attack you more than they do anything else. It's like, how dare you ask that question? Well, I'm asking you because I'm trying not to make the mistake that you're assuming I'm making.
Right. And you never know the person on the other side of the message board too. Like they could be the world's worst fish keeper and they're like armchair experts, they're over here like, oh, buy this $500 reef light because otherwise your stuff will die. Meanwhile they can't keep a single thing alive. So it's like you really don't know what you're getting, which again, to your point, that's why things like YouTube are cool, because you can see people as they go through their aquarium keeping journey. And obviously things
Yeah.
change over time too, hopefully for the better.
Like if you want a show tank, you won't ask me any information about it.
Yeah, but you would come to you for things like, the gouramis and all of the like inlers you were talking about. Like you have so much knowledge in other areas of the hobby, right? We all do.
And
Pockets.
I have a better that won the Anabantoid contest on YouTube a year ago.
No way.
And I had a better that won last week a banner contest at my local LFS as well as the Fish Club.
Love
and
it.
he's now the banner on Facebook.
Is it? Which store it is? Is it 360?
Yes. I got a $30 credit, and I went in there
That's
and
amazing.
I cashed out,
That is so amazing. Yeah, that's cool. That's exciting. Do you go to shows regularly? Like, did you go to the Houston? I think it was the International Beta Conference.
I had to work because I'm actually a part of the Houston Beta Society.
Ah, okay.
I was supposed to go in, help set up. We had our first, since the pandemic, it would have been it would have been the first big actual show, And yeah, I couldn't do anything. I was going to live stream. Oh, it was going to go. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. Well, I think that weekend was also the same weekend that I was planning the Austin Aquarium Society's fall swap. And I remember so many people reached out to me and they were like, but Nat, you know that the Houston Beta Conference is meeting and that's going to take all of the people that are going to come to your swap. And so literally the day of the swap, I was terrified. I was like, no one's coming to mine because they're all in Houston. But it worked out. People came, but yeah, anyways.
And they're not all beta people.
I know, but sometimes the beta fish world feels like everything in the hobby, you know, because it's 10x the amount of people that keep beta fish. It's regular people. It's your mom and dad, your grandparents have a beta fish, but not as many people have actual tanks. So I feel like the
Yep.
beta fish world is very central in people's minds. But yeah.
Gotcha. Glitch Aquatic said, "How does your store actually work?"
Oh, this is a good question. Sorry, I did not mean to ignore that at all. So Stock My Tank, stockmytank.com. You can look us up. We are an aquarium marketplace. So what that means is we connect people that breed or grow plants or have coral to people that are shopping for live fish, plants, shrimp, coral, everything. So if you are someone listening to this and you sell regularly on sites like Aquabid, Etsy, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or you even just sell locally through your local club swaps, you might be a good fit to sell on Stock My Tank. So please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on TikTok, etc. But yeah, so you will upload your products, and then we have pretty good website traffic just through a variety of sources, and shoppers come through all the time and pick out stuff. We also have a Facebook group and a bunch of other stuff that I really want to build more of a community around to make sure that people are getting kind of good advice from qualified people, and that they can also connect with the people that sold them their fish. Because how cool is that? Like, you know, Big Tank Hank, if you bred some betas and you sold them to me through Stock My Tank, it'd be so cool to be like, I can, you know, live chat with Big Tank Hank when I have questions about the fish that he sold me. And who cares about that fish more than Big Tank Hank himself? Because you literally had that fish in your own home at one point, you know? So if we can just connect the hobby on that kind of micro level, gosh, I think it'd be so cool. So that's what Stock My Tank's about. And I would love to have y'all join. So
yes,
feel free.
that is definitely off the hook. That's off the hook. And with you saying that like that, you kind of shine the light on something. But I, you know, early on, maybe almost a year ago, you know, I would have people, hey man, you know, after the guppies you have for video, oh, you have it for sale, and you know, in my head, I'm like, hey, why you won't mind? Or like, I mean, you know, hey,
Yeah.
but it's the connection, you know, they were mine, they were here, you know, and it just never connected with me. I was like, man, why are you know,
Yeah.
hey, you can get them, you know, I don't want to try to ship them to you and they die. I mean,
Yeah.
but I can understand. I can understand that as far as that aspect. Cause I swear it was you know, I was confused for a while. I'm like, man, why? I just put them on a video. I don't, you know.
Right. I mean, it truly it goes both ways too, because like I'm sure from your perspective, you would rather, you know, sometimes when you have to get rid of fish, if you have a big group of betas that you just bred, like you can't keep them all, right? But I know for a fact that
No.
you care about those fish and you want them to go to a hobbyist that is qualified or that you have a connection to, so you can make sure that those fish are receiving the best care possible. And I actually hear that a lot from breeders that say like this is the best thing ever because you know now I can actually own my customer base and I not own, but you can connect with them in this deeper way, and you know where your fish are going in a more intimate setting than a lot of other people that just have to let go of their fish on Facebook Marketplace or other sources. So,
Right,
oh,
right.
Mario Planted Tanks, thank you. That is so sweet. That's super kind. I'm still really shy about the whole thing, so it's I'm turning red thinking about it, but it's a learning process.
But that's cool for you to have that ambition and that drive like that, and to be still humbled by it. If more people could stay in that sweet spot, you know, the the ceiling on success would not exist
Yeah,
because the passion would still be coming from the same place, you know?
yeah. This is like one of those things where it's like the hobby, there's always so much to learn that I also feel like this project of mine, it's endless. Like the opportunity is endless and it's always going to be something new that I'm learning. For example, like I am starting this YouTube channel and I have no clue how to edit videos. You and I were talking about that. It's a nightmare for a first time person to like get into YouTube. And so I'm learning that and it's like a whole new skill. And yeah, it's there's always something. So we're working on it and we will get there slowly, hopefully, with time.
Most definitely, most definitely. Hey, Funk, just make sure the fish can fight back, man.
Yeah, I feel that to my core. Yeah. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, I have 3 videos to edit. Let's do it. Today's the day. And every day goes by and I'm like, today was not the day. Not the day. Nope. Maybe tomorrow.
Yes, it's you know, the live stream is in my wheelhouse. You know, talking to people, interviewing, that's my thing. You know, I mean, just out here in the world, you know, regular world, that's what I do. I talk to people, you know. It hurt my video making.
Because you knew you could just go live, right? And have,
Yeah, you
you
know,
could
I'm
still
like,
get it out. You could still like have your moment where you're like doing my fish thing, you know? I feel that. That's what TikTok is to me. Like I feel in my element when I film, you know, I take 10 minutes of my day and I film a TikTok video. Because I know I feel comfortable with it now. But you know, sometimes I guess like they say like the most growth happens when you're the most uncomfortable. So that is, you just gotta keep that in mind and you just gotta keep trying, I guess.
right?
What editing software am I using right now? I'm learning iMovie, which I don't even know. Is that like legit? Can I use that? Is that embarrassing?
No, you can. You can. Now, if you're an artsy person, you can. I used to have a channel, a fitness channel.
Okay.
Big Preacher Fit. And I had workout videos. I had training videos where I broke down workouts. I put other people on, but I used the iMovie to make like commercials almost, you know. And I mean, it was and on the phone, on my iPhone, you know, it was pretty easy actually.
Yeah.
Crystal's Pets and Plants. No, you can definitely do it.
Okay, that's reassuring. I also realized though that iMovie doesn't translate over to the iPhone or to your desktop. Like the video that I have on my phone editing from my bed, I realized the other day I can't just do it on my laptop too. So I don't know. We'll learn. Aquafunk, thank you for the tip. I will look up this Kind Master software immediately.
Is there a D in that, Funk?
Yeah, isn't it like Kine? I think I used them for TikTok one time. I had to like fast forward a video and they were, I think, an app maybe. I don't know. But this is off topic from aquarium stuff. Sorry, guys. Hopefully everyone here is interested in YouTube as well.
Well, they're on YouTube, so yeah,
That's true.
Right.
If you're not a content creator, I just want to let you know it is very hard work. So that's the takeaway.
Oh, my thing. I think if I had a cameraman,
That would be the life.
if I had a cameraman and everything for me was a documentary, or you just coming with me, I'm talking and we're doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I would have excellent videos. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
1 million subscribers right now.
You're gonna have 1 million someday. 1 million is possible.
Yes, it's been done.
It has been done. Yeah.
It's been done, but that's some work right there.
Yeah. I always look at like Coralfish 12G because like if you look back at his really old videos, he was like a kid. He's been on YouTube for like 10 years, but he's like almost at 1 million. So I'm like, it is possible. We'll just have to.
That's crazy.
We'll have to be friends for a decade, and then we'll be good.
Right? Hey, take you with me. All I'm thinking about is getting me one of those big, pretty microphones and to have sitting right here, and you can see it with my camera. I'm not even thinking about the videos. That's for my. Give me a big headset, even though this one works, but give me a big one, with my microphone,
You know what you need?
What I want to do.
You really need like the gamer chair in the back to show that you're like a serious interview host.
Like, with the lights, though. It's got to have the lights on.
Yeah, with the lights. Why is that a thing? Why is that such a thing? Oh my gosh.
And you can't see it.
Yeah.
It seems like you're hovering in your chair due to the lights, but you can't see it though.
It's so bad.
I'm going in so hard on this. The aliens are abducting me. Look at me levitate.
that, that is exactly what it looks like. It's like out of this world. Like, what? Who came up with that?
Oh my goodness.
I like this look better, where you just have a couple plants in the background. You've got a white wall. It's very simple, but you got nature. That is all we need, folks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm glad everybody knows that these tanks are all around me and got me encapsulated. You just can't see them right now. Because, yeah, that was the thing for me earlier. I was like, man, I can't see my tanks. I can't, they're going to shun me.
Show the people some tanks.
That's going to be hard, though. It's cluttered. Like,
I like this bamboo one. Let's pause here. I just wanted to take in this bamboo. How long did it take to grow that bamboo? I was going to ask you earlier.
Man, 2 years.
Okay, that seems about right. It's quite long. It's quite full grown.
About 2 good years. And
That's
it's
good.
everywhere.
I love it. I love the bamboo look. I need to do a bamboo tank at some point.
Yeah, see, there's so much stuff piled up on top of itself over here that
I feel that. I've got
I don't wanna...
buckets in the back. I mean, it's always something like, and this is like my kitchen in this direction as well. So I'm like, people always come over and they're like, is that fish food? Like, or is that human food? It's just all in one, which is probably not hygienic, but
right.
The life of a fish keeper.
What's that? Hey, folks, you gonna leave these glasses alone, dude. If I take these off, I would not be able to read anything over there. And I can see Nats over there. I can see her, but yeah.
Yeah, I have pretty bad eyesight too. Got to wear the contacts.
Anything far away from me, right up on me, no.
Oh, I'm actually the opposite. I have terrible long distance vision. So I'm technically not supposed to drive in the state of Texas without contacts. Do you have a similar license? It literally says on my license, it's like, this girl is not allowed to drive.
My up close vision is, how can I put it? It's only reading glass. Because if I go to the actual eye doctor, they give me the test, I pass them. And they're like, well, sir, if we made you glasses, you couldn't keep them on. You'd have to spend all this money and you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd be like an old person with my string, with my $300 reading glasses.
Yeah, hanging, you only put on like occasionally to like squint.
Yeah, God forbid, I break them. Oh,
that's
so yeah. I tried to get some glasses. It was like, no, we really can't right now. Yeah. So if I do paperwork, or if I'm at the restaurant trying to look at a menu and they have the soft, lighting.
Soft lighting. Yep.
Yeah, that menu. I'm holding the menu out. Okay, I've eaten here before, so this is what I want. James, welcome in. Welcome in. Me and you both my vision is exactly the same with my expensive reading glasses. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm glad they warned me. Sir, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Yeah. I just won't do much paperwork. I have my wife continue to fill out all my paperwork.
Do you ever work on your tanks without your glasses? Or?
Yes, I can. Only time if I want to sit and look in the shrimp tank and make sure they're all still there. Yeah. I have to put my glasses on. Yeah. But other than that, I don't need them.
Yeah.
It's just letters
that you can't see.
Yeah. And right now when I take the glasses off, it's so bad because I have all this light in my face, and the camera's right here, right in my face. So if I take them off, it's like adjust, can't adjust, abort, get out.
I feel that though. Like when I wake up in the morning, I do my little tank check. I'm sure everyone does, where you go like tank by tank. You're like, are we good? Are we good? Still going? Great. But yeah, when I don't have my contacts in, it's like, oh my gosh, it's terrifying because all I see is like blurs of color, and I'm like, ah. I need a moment.
Yeah, my take checks go all throughout the day. Like if I'm not at work,
Yeah.
I go out, come in the house, and put my head in the curtain into the fish room.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of tank checks, this is like probably the furthest I've gone in the hobby so far, but I bought myself a security camera this week because Thanksgiving is coming up and I really want to keep an eye on the reef tank. And I know this is like another level. And my dad came by the house today and he saw the Amazon package and I was like, please just don't ask about it because he would just be like, you're in too deep, Nat.
And ironically, it was surprising that much, because then I understood. I'm like, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
the rabbit hole does travel like that.
Yeah. Have you ever like put your tanks on a live stream full time and like let people?
I did a couple of times, and Baji from Australia, what's going on, man? What's going on? I did a couple of times, and throughout, people like, hey, it's supposed to be solid, but I can hear your air. I can hear your air filter. Hey, these are lights right there. You got a little dirt. Hey, you come on, man.
That's
Just
not
enjoy
fun.
the fish.
That's not fun. Yeah.
Just enjoy those beautiful red serpes that are swimming, in front of you right there. Just enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There's a guy that live streams on Twitch, I think, and he does like a full like 24/7 reef tank live stream. He actually gets like a lot of donations and stuff, and I mean his tank's like beautiful, but yeah, to your point, like you never like I just feel bad because sometimes like he'll be like, sorry, I need to shut it down because I like need to like move something or get in front of the camera, and he doesn't want to like show himself, I think is the whole thing. So it's like it's very intrusive to do a tank live stream because you're really showing people like your home as well,
Yeah. Most definitely. And they didn't scare me off really. That's like an impromptu. I'm just here. Hey, let me put this on because I really like that tank.
Yeah, you enjoy it.
Let me let you check it out. Let me let you check this out. Yeah, they got to be. The cinematography has to be perfect. I'm not a movie maker, but hey, these little videos that we make on here are movies to a lot of people. So yes, I understand. I do.
What do you
do
for vacation? Like when you leave your house, I'm assuming you probably don't leave often. Yeah, you're shaking your head like, no, we don't leave.
I DoorDash as like a side job.
Okay.
I was just on a vacation last week, but I DoorDashed during my vacation because that's hey, I need to make those ends. But
yeah,
I work in a prison, so just not being there, is a vacation in itself.
A vacation from work or from the tanks? Because
from work, because I can't be.
Yeah.
The tanks are like always.
Yeah.
There's always something. I could get I can get this like today. There's a plant that I want to put in this terrarium that I was keeping myself from going to Lowe's or somewhere all day today. No, man, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going through subdivisions and I'm looking at all the flowers out there and the plants and I'm like, hey, you could just stop and pull. No, man, no, don't stop and pull.
Keep driving.
Yeah, keep driving. You tripping.
What plant did you want so badly?
Well, there's a ivy that's white with the green is like maybe 10% of the plant.
Okay.
And it's mostly white. I want that to be like a background accent deal.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of green. I have one with some yellow in it, but I have a lot of green and have that white ivy in the back there. I think that would be.
Yeah, that would be cool. Have you ever done a Texas like biotope or native tank? I'm assuming you have.
Well, no, not just directed like that, but everything here is close to biotype.
Yeah.
I guess more than anything.
Yeah.
But Texas, we don't have a lot to offer fish wise as far as hey.
We
And
have
why is that? Everybody else have these beautiful fish, that's native to
yeah.
Texas. Is just like, hey, we're Texas.
We have the Texas cichlids, right? Those are kind of cool.
Yeah, but they get, I can't really. I'm not, monster fish,
That's true.
cichlid aggressive,
Yeah, you're not
cichlid
gonna
aggressive ready.
yeah.
Especially in this apartment with this little bitty pitch room I have here. You know, there'll be no big tank in here,
Yeah.
big tank Hank. You know,
Wait, when you
it's
made
upstairs.
wait, now I have a question. When you made the username, did you have a big tank at the time?
I had. Ooh, this is crazy now.
Okay.
My old house has there's this shelf on the wall that they put in the house that had this little metal brace in the middle of it, and it's nailed into the wall, but you have this
Okay.
one little metal brace at an angle underneath it. I had a 255-gallon tank sitting up on it. I had
No, you
it
did
was
not.
I, now I had this one wooden, I call it a peg, but maybe 5 inches around wooden, and I cut it just sort of fit under there, right? Now the shelf never came down to add extra pressure to it.
You're joking. Do you have
I'm
any
serious as a heart attack.
legendary?
I do. My first videos, it's still on YouTube.
Oh my god, I'm going back in the
Go
archives.
backwards into that's when I tried to do, I had some cichlids. I had an eye biter with some Oscars, and yeah, I was mixing South American and African. I was mixing it all up. You
Yeah.
know, I literally do. I was big tank Hank then.
That is wow, that tank defied gravity. 250 gallons.
Now, and I'm telling you, the shelf never came down to add any extra pressure.
This is
Now,
making me so mad though. Okay, literally this week I had a bookshelf above the 72 gallon and I ordered it on Amazon, had great reviews. It collapsed and I only had a picture frame and like 2 plants on it. It collapsed. I spent all day today screwing in L brackets under this thing. So hearing you talk about a 250-gallon on one bracket is just
on
you
one
were
bracket.
lucky. You were lucky.
Oh, and
Wild.
after a while, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, hey,
Ugh.
you might want to go ahead and take that.
It's
Go ahead and
that would
take
be
that down.
unsettling to think about in your home too, because like 250 gallons spilling or cracking on your floor. Yeah.
And it's all carpet,
You didn't have nightmares about it? You didn't wake up in the middle of the night like okay. That would be me. I have fish nightmares
And
all the time. It's not
and I
healthy.
actually had years and years ago, I had a tank. Oh, I have so many, fish mistake stories. I had a tank that I want to say it was a 75. Because from my recollection, it looked like a 40 breeder, but I know it was bigger.
Okay.
So I want to say it may have been like a 75. But it came from a school. So it was drilled, but it was drilled from the bottom. So I don't know if it was a terrarium,
Yeah.
but again, that was during the time when I had the tang, in the 10-gallon.
Yep.
I'm like, it's a fish tank. That plug must be okay.
Yeah.
So I had it full with these two little bitty Oscars, in it. I'm feeding them little pieces of worm on a toothpick. They come in and eating it from it. Oh man, we enjoying ourselves. I'm sleeping one night and I hear that plug, that whole area just turned loose. Oh.
I can just see it on your face that exact moment. That's
yeah. Had to smell the carpet for like a long time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I have a lot of those.
Do you think that your fish room smells. What level of smell are we at?
Almost zero.
That's awesome. That's good. I
How
recently
I told you, I keep my tanks.
you
Hey, I have beneficial bacteria that I can sell.
yeah. Yeah, you have your whole filtration system. That's excellent. My saltwater one, the 72, I use garlic a lot in that one for feeding. And the other day I was like working with the water and I was like, now that I think about this, the fact that I put garlic in here every night, it's definitely got a stench. It definitely smells more than any other tank in the house. So now I've cut out the garlic a little bit, but
That happened to me when I was raising feeder guppies, and I thought they were endlers because I didn't know endlers existed, till like 2.5 years ago. So I see these feeder guppies at the store, and I'm like, do they know what they have? 25 cents? Oh my God! I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna breed them. I'm gonna sell them. Man, okay. They're at this big box store right here.
yeah.
Hey, I've never seen all I ever saw was rosy reds, goldfish, and minnows. Growing up, that was it.
Yeah.
Texas, no feeder guppies. Then I start talking to people from up north and all, yeah, man, white cloud minnows. Some people use platies. I'm like,
Yeah.
as feeders?
Mollies, another big feeder fish. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand that. Not here, People are making money on those here, Other people like, oh, they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
Feed something. I'm like, what?
You're like, those are our pets here.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, I was making my own garlic, food, for these for these mistreated feeder guppies, that would come to my house, clamp fins and all. Oh man. And yes, there was a quite a seasoned smell in my fish room at that time. Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah. I have 2 rosy reds in this tank. I think they're so underrated as fish. I actually think they're really pretty. They grow on me every day. They got like a super unique color. I don't know why they just get to the bottom of everyone's list so quickly, but
Are your rosy reds aggressive?
no.
I had some rosy reds a few years back in a community tank that were like, they were trying to run people down. I guess it wasn't much they could do to them, but they were just running fish down like crazy. Like, what is wrong with these fish?
They're kind of chaotic. They have a certain like ADHD energy to them, but they don't chase other fish. They chase each other, I guess, more often. They definitely are like a little team. Like they're just like buddies, and they just travel all through the tank together. They've been fine so far.
I think my rosy reds thought they were zebra Daniel. Zebra Daniel will get kind of territorial. They're already spasmodic.
Yeah.
And they'll get a little territorial. The males is like, hey, this part of the tank up here belongs to me. You guys need to be down there.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah. That's one of the things like I want to get better at is like when I'm building and setting up a tank, understanding the different layers of a tank. So you have the people that are on the top, you have the middle swimmers, and then you have the bottom people. And really picking out fish so that you have an ideal balance just from like an aquascaping perspective. I haven't nailed that yet, mostly because I'm kind of like an impulsive person that's like, oh, I just love this fish and it could go in that tank. So therefore, they'll now be buddies.
It shall.
But if I really thought about like design and like, how the colors would look and the movement, yeah, would love to be more of an expert on that. So one day.
Hey, you guys in chat, Nat and myself are the only true fish keepers on here. I called fish people a few minutes ago, and she just did it.
What do you mean?
You got your people right here, and you got your people right there. I said, folks, they were just chasing folks around, and then you said you got your people right there. I said, hey. When I said it, I called it. I was like, oh, man, They gonna hear me call these fish folks, and then you said people. Oh,
They're little people.
the people, they are live beings, you know.
Yeah.
Most definitely, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, ma'am, we've hit the hour mark,
We have.
and you're gonna have to come back because we left some meat on the bone. We did, but you know that's what happens when you have fun. You know, it becomes so enjoyable.
Yeah. No, it was
Again,
a great chat. And I'm so happy to hear you're in Texas. You're in Texas with Rocco and I, so we can all have some meetup someday and
most definitely, we need to.
holidays, so we can have a 360 aquatics meetup if that's of any interest. You're like, yes.
Hey, I do 360 aquatic commercials on here all the time.
Oh yeah, fantastic store. I will also plug them. One of my favorites.
Britmore Road, Houston, Texas.
Yep,
All
so
right.
good.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, y'all in the chat. Thank y'all for coming and sitting with us. Really, really, really glad you did. And for anybody that's watching the replay, if you've gotten this far, I want to thank you for checking it out also. Because I know it's a little bit different when the people aren't actually live. You know, so if you can get this far, enough respect. Ma'am, I want to thank you. Thank everybody in the chat. Hey, y'all, love somebody and take care of those fish. We out. Hey, Patty, you were lurking? Just don't lurk like that.
But yeah,
hey, okay.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure, and so happy we got to chat. Thank you to everyone who came out to listen to us talk. Hopefully y'all had fun. And yeah, if anyone is interested in Stock My Tank or just wants to learn more, or even if you want me to come on your channel, your stream, I would love to. So feel free, reach out, and we can be friends too.
Most definitely, most definitely. Y'all be good. We out.